start with a stretch. We'll just spend 30 seconds hanging out in child's pose. And so you'll point your toes, place your arms out in front, chest down towards the ground. Try to push your butt back towards your feet. And take a couple nice deep breaths. And then we'll take your right arm and reach up to the ceiling. Get a nice big stretch here. Good breath. And then you'll take that right arm and tuck it underneath your left armpit and twist under here. Get a nice stretch. And then we'll just do a few passes up with your arm and then through under your armpit. And we'll just rotate through a couple times for about 20 more seconds. And then we'll switch sides. So we'll do these all on our right side and then switch. All right, and then we'll switch sides. And so maybe starting with a nice big stretch and hold for a breath. And then we'll go ahead and twist back underneath. And again, a nice hold. Your right arm is kind of under your left elbow now, or armpit now. A nice big stretch. And then we'll reach again and just pass through a couple times. As you're feeling. And we'll do about 20 more seconds on this side. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and just lay flat on the ground. So your stomach is on the ground and you're gonna tuck your chin under, and you're gonna just go ahead and like rest your forehead on the ground. I'm gonna keep my head up just to talk to y'all. So you can go ahead and just rest your forehead on the ground. And your legs are together, your feet are on the ground as well. And you're gonna reach up with your arms overhead, and you're gonna place both your palms up, arms up over your head, and then you're gonna swoop them around, keeping your arms straight, and then palms up over your lower back. And then we'll kind of swoop and rotate your arms back up again, palms up at the top, swooping down, palms up at the bottom. And we'll just go through this a couple times. Maybe like 4 more. And then we'll take and put one hand up, one hand down, both palms up, and then rotate all the way through and switch places. And so both arms are moving at the same time, but going in opposite directions. And we'll do the same thing. We'll do this like roughly 10 times. We'll do like 2 more. All right, and we'll go ahead and turn on over. So now we're gonna lay on your back. And your feet will be on the ground with your legs bent. So your low back's on the ground, your shoulders are on the ground, and your feet are on the ground with your knees up. Shoulder blades, you're gonna try to keep your shoulder blades together while at the same time squeezing your midline so that your belly button is pulling to your spine and your low back is in contact with the ground. And then we're gonna reach our arms up, but again, reaching up with your arms while keeping your shoulder blades down and back. And then you're gonna reach up, trying to keep your shoulder blades down and back, and then swoop all the way around. Arms as straight as feels good. And again, trying to keep your shoulder blades pinned to the ground the whole time. and then raising them straight up again. Starting up, back, and around. Nice. Again, really trying to control those shoulder blades. And then we'll start back in that beginning position of up. You don't need to bring them up because actually that's going to be kind of tough. But reaching back and around, keeping your shoulder blades in contact with the mat. Nice. And then again, kind of resetting at the top. Shoulder blades down and back. Up. Keeping them down and back. And around. Nice. And then resetting. We'll do it one more time. And just really trying to control your shoulder blades here while keeping your midline tight. Belly button to spine, lower back to the ground. Up. And around. This is kind of hard for my right arm, but hopefully y'all are getting that picture. Okay. All right, so now that our shoulders are awake, we'll come on up into a side plank. And so we're going to start in a side plank. You can choose to be on your forearm or your hand. It's up to you. And we're just going to do a little bit of plank stuff to keep warming up. And so we'll start with 30 seconds on, I'm going to be on the left side, but you can start on whatever side you want. Ready, set, go. And again, really like paying attention to engaging your shoulder and keeping your midline tight. Belly button to spine, rib cage down. And then in 10 seconds, we're going to go straight into a thread the needle. So we'll take that right arm and twist under our left armpit like we were doing earlier with our thoracic twist. 3, 2, 1, go. So we'll twist under here and then reach up to the ceiling, just like when we were doing that thoracic twist. And we'll do 30 seconds, just like before as well. All right, 10 more seconds, and then we're going to go straight into round number 2. So we're just going to hold again in this side plank. In 3, 2, 1. So we're going to hold. Nice. Yeah, short breaks if you need, but we're going to try to just hold right into round 2 if you can. Whew, nice work. Keep it engaged with your shoulder, belly button to spine. 10 more seconds and then we'll twist. 3, 2, 1. Adding that twist. And if you want to drop that knee down, if you need a little assistance, that's fine. You can drop that left knee down or the knee that's closer to the ground. And we'll take a break before we go to the right side. 10 more seconds of these and we'll take a break. Keep it up, you got it. 3, 2, 1. All right, we'll take a break and then we'll switch to the other side. All right, we'll take 10 more seconds, and then we'll go to our right side. 3, 2, 1, go. That right side plank.
Taylor, off. Taylor, off.
She like knows when you're holding. She's like, you can't get me now. All right, 3, 2, 1, and we'll go into that thread the needle. And we're gonna go right into round 2 on this side as well. In 3, 2, 1, we'll hold again. Maybe reset your base if you need to. break set as you needed. As you needed. I can't talk anymore. Ten more seconds, and then we'll thread the needle again. 3, 2, 1. Add the twist. Three, two, one. Whew. Okay, we'll take another break, and then we're gonna do one more round of this, but in a forward position. So we'll start with a forward plank hold, and you can hold in high plank on your hands or in low plank on your elbows. And then as opposed to going into the twist, what we're gonna do is some scat push-ups, where you're thinking about pulling your shoulder blades together, down and back, and then spreading them apart, pushing them away, but keeping your arms straight the whole time. And you can also do these with your hands on the ground or with your elbows on the ground. But again, we're gonna hold first and then go into some of those for 30 seconds, and we'll repeat 2 times, just like we did on our sides. Okay, ready, set, forward plank. And as you're in that plank hold, you actually wanna think about more of like retracting your shoulder blades, so pushing them away from the ground in like the top of the scat push-up position, and pulling your belly button to your spine, keeping your hips and your shoulders in the same plane. It's okay if there's a little bit of rounding in your back on the way, if it comes from pulling your rib cage down, squeezing your midline. Okay, scat push-ups, ready, set, go. So pull your shoulder blades down together and then spread them apart. Pull them down together, spread them apart. Just a little movement here. And we're gonna go back to a hold in 3, 2, 1. Hold. Nice job. Keep it up. 10 more seconds in our hold. Again, short breaks as needed. 3, 2, 1. Into those scat push-ups. Three, 2, 1, rest. Ooh, nice work. Okay, I'm feeling kind of warm, even just from some planking. So yeah, grab a sip of water and we'll transition into some stuff with our dumbbells or whatever weights you're working with. But you can get a little sip of water and take a short break as we transition. Future! It was so cool to see your helmet head pop in here.
Fairies were super late today, and I was just like mad the whole drive home, like watching the clock tick down to 5. But it doesn't seem like I missed too much, so.
No, yeah, you didn't miss anything. It was perfect, yeah, and it was just awesome too because it was like, you're like, I'm here. I could kind of tell you had your serious face on through your helmet. It was great. And super happy that you made it. Okay, and so the next thing we're gonna do, the first thing with our weights, we're gonna continue on this kind of train of moving and holding. And so you're gonna want something pretty manageable for the first movement. And you're just gonna use one weight to start. And what we're gonna do is continuing to really think about your shoulders and your midline, even though, it doesn't seem like we're using your lower body. You wanna be engaging your glutes, squeezing your quads, midline tight, shoulder blades down and back, and staying relaxed, you're just gonna raise your dumbbell straight out in front of you. And we're gonna do 30 seconds of raises, just nice and steady, and then we're gonna do a 30-second hold in this up position. And so I'm probably actually gonna use this like 8-pound weight, because for me at least, this movement is really tough. And so if you can find something of like a manageable weight to do for this one.
Do you have an example of the manageable weight? Is it like...
Yeah, I mean, my weight is 8 pounds.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, I could probably do like 20 pounds, but I'd rather do like more reps. So something kind of like between 10 and 20 would probably be good. And you can play around and try it out a little bit. Okay, and we're gonna get started on the first set. So ready, set, go. Oh, just stopwatch is annoying. So we're gonna have 30 seconds to just do some reps. And again, squeezing your glutes, quads, everything's tight, midline tight, shoulder blades down and back. And keep breathing. A lot of times when we do this shoulder stuff, forget about breathing. Keeping your shoulder blades down and back. And we'll do 10 more seconds of reps, just nice and slow and steady, no hurry through these reps. All right, 3, 2, 1, and now we're gonna hold. And again, keep breathing. Shoulder blades down and back, tight with your midline, feet flat on the ground. Ten more seconds for the hold. Keep tight with your midline. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna take 30 seconds off, and now we're gonna come down into a kneeling position. So one knee on the ground and one knee out forward. And then next we're gonna press in this position up overhead. And we're gonna do 30 seconds of presses and then a 30-second hold. And so you can use the same weight, or you might be able to go heavier in this position, if you have those options available to you. Three, 2, 1. So again, 30 seconds for some reps. And same thing, even in this kneeling position, we want to keep our rib cage down, midline tight. Your breath is nice and easy through these slow and steady reps. That front foot's flat on the ground, but you also have weight in your knee. Glutes are engaged. Everything's nice and tight. Three, 2, 1, and now we're gonna hold overhead. And again, try to keep your shoulder blades down and back. Yeah, and continuing to breathe. Good work. Tight midline. Three, 2, 1. And we'll take another 30-second break while we switch sides. And just give our shoulders a break. It's already kind of getting tough. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1. And we'll press up overhead. Again, just doing reps slow and steady. Belly button to spine, rib cage down. Continuing to breathe. Three, 2, 1, and now we'll go overhead and hold. Midline tight, keep breathing. 10 more seconds. 3, transition now into our last version of this before we go back to the top for another set. And we're gonna do, we've practiced this maybe one time before. We're gonna be in a hollow hold, and then we're gonna do presses from there, and then we're gonna hold in the top. And so remember in your hollow hold to try to keep your lower back on the ground. And so if you need to bend your knees in order to do that, that's totally fine. It's okay to bend your knees. And also try to keep your shoulder blades hovering up off the ground as well. 3, 2, 1, go. So again, shoulder blades are off the ground. Belly button to spine, and legs as straight as you can get them while leaving that low back in contact with the ground. And just slow and steady reps. 10 more seconds. Three, 2, 1. Now we're gonna hold up over our chest. Figure out something different for my stopwatch next time. And as far back as you can get the weight is great while keeping that low back on the ground. And shoulder blades hovered. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. All right, 30-second break. And then we'll go back to the top and we're gonna do 2 more rounds, so 3 total. Nice job. Maybe a little stretch. Shake out your shoulders a little bit. About 10 more seconds. And we'll be back to standing, and we're going to start with that lateral raise. 3, 2, 1, go. And keeping that tight midline. And 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold out in front of your shoulders. Keeping those shoulder blades down and back, belly button to spine. Nice deep breaths. Three, 2, 1. Whew, those ones are really tough. Okay, 30-second break, and we'll go to our kneeling press. All right, 3, 2, 1. Presses, nice and slow and steady. And we're gonna hold in 3, 2, 1. Shoulder blades down and back. Belly button to spine. Continue to squeeze the ground with your back knee and your front foot. Staying totally engaged. And forgetting all about that weight up overhead. 10 more seconds. Three, 2, 1. All right, 30-second break as we switch sides. And again, between sets, like giving any stretching to your shoulders or shaking them out, keeping them as loose as possible. Also your neck may be a little, neck roll might feel good. Alrighty, 3, 2, 1. We'll do that press. 10 more seconds for nice, easy reps. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Midline tight. Squeezing the ground with your feet, or your foot and your knee, I guess. Keeping that breath. Three, 2, 1. 30-second break, and we'll go into the hollow hold version.
Charlie, is your back on the ground or in the air?
My shoulders are in the air. My low back is on the ground. Good. Okay. Yes. All right. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Press. More seconds. 3, 2, 1. Hold. And yeah, trying to keep that low back on the ground. Really trying to like pin your belly button to the ground as much as you can. And then just keep those shoulders off. Arms straight. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Okay, we're gonna do one more set of all that stuff. Some nice shoulder building today. Oh yeah, back to standing. And we'll do that lateral raise in 3, 2, 1. Go! And last round of this, just really focus on keeping that midline tight. Feet pinned to the floor. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Three, 2, 1. Rest. And we'll go to kneeling next. More seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go. That steady press. Make sure you got a nice grounding with your foot and your knee. And a solid foundation in your core. A nice relaxed breath. Three, 2, 1. Hold. More seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job, everyone. Almost done with this part. more seconds to rest here. 3, 2, 1. Press. Nice and steady. Rib cage down. Three, 2, 1. Hold. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, we'll do that hollow, hold, and press. Or press and then hold, I should say. And then we'll be done with this part. All right, 10 more seconds to rest. 3, 2, 1, go. Three, 2, 1, and hold. Almost there. Keep that midline down. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Okay, and we'll take a little time to transition here, so longer rest. Stretch out your shoulders, grab a sip of water. Little transition time. All right, and so next we're gonna kind of play around with a new to me, kind of, new to this group maybe, movement. And so this is the one where you could maybe have options to use 2 dumbbells or just your single dumbbell if you want. And so we're gonna kind of like work up into like a clean variation. And so we'll start just by warming up our like cleaning mechanics. And so we'll start with just your weight in both hands, and we'll just start with some bent rows. And so you're just gonna bend over, keeping your back flat, and just pull that dumbbell up to your chest. And maybe just like 4 to 5 reps, kind of warming that up. And then again, if it's a one-handed item, you could try like 4 reps on your right arm, and then 4 reps on your left arm. And again, thinking about keeping your back flat, shoulder blades down and back, bending your knees if you need to release tension in your low back and your hamstrings, but then just kind of hugging that dumbbell back up to your chest, keeping your elbow down and back. And then you can try, if you have 2 dumbbells, hinging into that bent row, starting with one in the up position and one in the down position, and then switching places. So both are moving, kind of like way back in the beginning when we did those lying arm swoops, both arms were moving but in the opposite direction. And so you can maybe try like a couple of those seesaw bent rows. And so again, this would be like alternating, but seesaw, they're both moving at the same same time, just opposite ways. Yeah, nice. Cool. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, and so we're gonna like step into the next progression. So like good job with the bent rows. We're gonna move up. Next, we're gonna kind of try to use that same like pulling mechanism, but we're gonna be standing tall, and so we're gonna do an upright row. And we're gonna engage our hips a little bit. So you'll hinge forward, an upright row using your hips, and so that'll be like a high pull, and your elbows are up high. And so again, starting with one weight, doing those high pulls, kind of getting the feel for that. And then maybe one arm at a time. And you can decide, do I want to do a narrow stance and have the dumbbell off to the side, kind of twist it a little bit as you pull, or do you want to try a wider stance and have the dumbbell coming between your legs? It's really just a preference, and you can decide. You can try a couple with the other arm, in that high pull using your hips, elbows high, and you can try a wide stance or a narrow stance. You can decide what you like. And then same thing, maybe we could try it seesaw style. And so one starts up, one starts down. And then as your hips come up, the other one goes down. So they're kind of going back and forth as you're driving with your hips. And so you can kind of play around with that as well. Questions? You want to see it again? And you can even break it down to just the upright row, and starting one at the top, one at the bottom. And so no hips, and just kind of standing tall. Again, one moves while the other moves, so just the opposite direction. And then you can play around with like adding a little bit of momentum, popping it up, and they're kind of switching back down as you pop the other one up. Questions? Yeah, nice feature. It's kind of like dancing. Okay, we're going to go one more further, so if you have any questions or anything, let me know. Maybe you just want to see where I'm going with this. Okay, because we're going to go all the way into a clean. And we're just going to do a muscle clean. So you're going to stand up tall as you catch. And again, we can start with one item if you want. But basically, you're going to do that high pull, and then you're going to catch it in the front rack. And so again, if you want to play around with that, 2 hands on your weight, great. We're just going to go into that muscle clean, standing tall in the catch. And then you can try one arm. And same thing, do you want to try with the dumbbell at your side in a narrow stance, or do you want to try a wider stance and clean from the middle? It's really up to you. You can try a few on each arm, see how it feels. And then we're going to try to do it seesaw style. So one at the top, one at the bottom. And you can even start in a little crouch, so it's maybe like you're landing in a little power clean as opposed to a muscle clean. And then you're going to clean this one up as the other one comes down. And so you're going to like jump, shrug, catch as the weight goes down. Yeah, nice. And again, if it's just like, what the heck, Chardy, why do you always have to overcomplicate this stuff? Then you could totally just do some cleans, it's fine. All right, so you can keep kind of playing with that for a second, or like shake it off or whatever. But we're gonna incorporate whatever movement you want to out of that part. So the bent row, single item, seesaw style bent row, you know, whichever one you want. Any item, any choice from that, we're going to incorporate that into the next piece. And of course, we're not done planking yet. And so what we're going to do is every 3 minutes, we're going to start with 1 minute plank and just a forward plank today. So on your hands or on your elbows, you can decide. And then we're going to do 20 of whatever that item weight thing was, plus a squat. So we're going to do that. If you're doing the seesaw clean, you'll catch it here, and then keeping this dumbbell between your legs, you'll squat. And then you'll kind of clean to switch, plus the squat. Clean to switch, plus the squat. Clean to switch, plus the squat. And again, if you're just cleaning, clean plus a squat. And that would be fine too. Clean plus a squat. Or two hand items, clean plus a squat. That's totally fine too. You don't have to do the seesaw kind. I just wanted to throw something extra at you, trying to keep you on your toes. And then in the time remaining, you're gonna just do as many push-ups as you can. So it might be one, it might be none. But just with the time remaining in those 3 minutes, you're gonna do as many push-ups. So forward plank, 20 things plus a squat. So whatever your thing was plus squat, 20 times. Not 20 of those things and then 20 squats. So you're gonna doing a squat each time. Cool. And then as many push-ups as you can. And we're gonna do it 3 times. So you can really go hard on your push-ups if you want, because we're only doing them 3 times.
How long was the plank? A minute?
Yeah, oh, and I'm sorry, we're gonna rest 1 minute between each round as well.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Ready? Starts with a plank. Forward plank for 1 minute. 3, 2, 1, go! Forward plank. 1 minute. More seconds. Three, two, one. Okay, and then you're gonna switch to your weights for whatever your movement was for this part. 1 starts up, don't forget, if you're doing the seesaw version. There's 1 minute left. And again, with any time remaining, you can just do some push-ups. Also push-ups of any style. With the 30 seconds that are left, you could stay in the plank for your push-ups. You could lower down in the plank and then put your knees down to push up. You could just stay on your knees. Just kind of depending on what kind of difficulty you want on your push-ups right now. For 10 more seconds and then we'll rest 1 minute. 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice job. 2 more times. More seconds to rest. And again, we're going to start in that plank. Today was just plank day. I'm realizing in hindsight. And feel free to do your push-ups like to a bench or a wall make them accessible. 3, 2, 1, plank. More seconds. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1. And transition to your weighted thingy. And make sure you're adding a squat. One more minute. More seconds. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. 1 minute to rest. We'll do one more time. And then we'll really rest, and that'll be the end of the workout. You can stretch and stuff if you want after. But we're almost done. We'll give our arms a break for a little bit. More seconds. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go! More seconds for this last plank hold. Stay as tight as you can. More seconds. You got it. seconds. Seconds. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good job. My arms are tired.
Oh, my arms are dead. Thanks, Chardy.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Lexi.
Wow, my shoulders.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. Yesterday, when I was